All right, FCV Dender. Where are they at in the standings so far? Let's take a quick look. Oh my lordy. Alright everybody, in today's video we're gonna be talking about an Iranian football transfer. I wouldn't have thought at this point, all the way in November, we'd be talking about a major transfer in Iranian football. And it is my beloved Alireza Jahanbakhsh joining Belgian Pro League side FCV Dender. Gonna let you all know on all the details behind this transfer, my thoughts, and kind of like all the discussions that have been going around about Alireza Jahanbakhsh, him taking so long to sign for a club. Should he still be in the national team fold? Does he deserve a spot going into the 2026 World Cup? There has been a lot that has been spoken about when it comes to Alireza Jahanbakhsh, and in this video I want to address all of it and what I think is the fair and right criticism to give Jahanbakhsh and just some of the unwarranted, unnecessary hate you can say that he has been receiving. But before we get into it, if you're a big fan of Iranian national team content, this is the channel that you need to be at, so make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to smash the like button on this video. Let's get this video to over 50 likes in honor of Alireza Jahanbakhsh finally signing for a club. And if we hit over 50 likes, I'll make sure to tell him next time not to take so long when it comes to him signing for a team in Europe. Make it happen during preseason for once. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Alireza Jahanbakhsh signs a 1-year contract with Dender with an additional year if the club and him decide to exercise that. So pretty much if the club doesn't get relegated, he'll probably stay another season. When it comes to the transfer, my thoughts on it. First positive, he's staying in Europe. He kept his word. He's playing in the Belgian Pro League. Huge positive there. But on the contrary, he is playing for the team that is in last place. As I addressed it immediately in the intro of the video, that is probably the biggest thing that people are talking about when it comes to this move. And obviously that is like a very overlying, gaping negative with him joining this club. But on the contrary, on the flip side, which is something that's not spoken about whatsoever, is it's only up from here. And what do I mean by that? You all might be thinking, Sean, what do you mean? Yes, Dender are in last place. And in this rough start to the season that this club has been having, it's been their attacking output. So with Jahanbakhsh, with his experience, if he can help galvanize this team, kind of like what he did with Heerenveen, because they were kind of teeter-tottering between that relegation zone, he joined them, made a difference for their offense, and that's why they were able to make a mid-table push in the Netherlands. So if he can come in, hit the ground running, we've already seen him get minutes right from the get-go with this club. They're throwing him right in there because they have a lot of confidence in him. That may be similar to Mehdi Taremi. He gets significant minutes. He's an out-and-out starter for them. And that can culminate into him bagging goals, gaining that consistent game time. And we maybe see those glimmers, those flashes of top-end Alireza Jahanbakhsh, like what we saw at Feyenoord. So yes, they are a last-place team, and they could be imminent to relegation. But if Jahanbakhsh can help be a spark for their offense, be the out-and-out starter, I'm almost confident he's gonna be for this team, because I don't think he would have signed if they weren't guaranteeing him that he will be a main attacker, a pivotal player for them in the offense. Then he probably wouldn't have joined. And we all know when Jahanbakhsh has confidence, he plays at his best. One of the worst stretches we ever saw from him was when he was at Brighton and he was barely playing. But in those years when he was playing with AZ Alkmaar and we saw the best out of him, he was a consistent starter for them. Even if he had one bad performance, the club and the coach had the confidence to keep playing him, and those things matter for a player. And another most recent example is with Mehdi Taremi. We saw how much of a mental turmoil it was for him at Inter, always being in the squad, out the squad. Whatever he did, he could never be a consistent starter, and we're starting to see him. Yes, he took a huge step down compared to Inter, but at Olympiacos, regardless if he plays good or if he plays bad, he's always going to start for them, and the fans absolutely love him there. And I'm almost certain when Jahanbakhsh starts bagging the goals, getting the assists, being a big part player for them, fans are going to start loving him. He's going to feed off that confidence. And who knows, maybe he has like a double-digit goal/assist season. If he can hit anywhere above 10 goals/assists this year, I think that would be a huge positive. Yes, this is a huge risk, but there is huge upside to it. So I can partially understand why he made this move. Yes, on surface level, it's not great, but we have to see how things pan out. It's still a long season ahead. But that's just my thoughts on him joining Dender. But the main bulk of this video is going to be talking about the absurd amount of hate he has been getting online. Jahanbakhsh was the guy that fans were constantly praising when he made the move from AZ Alkmaar to Brighton and Hove Albion post 2018 World Cup. Everybody loved him. He was the darling of Iranian football. And then post Brighton, things just haven't really been the same. Yes, he's had some ups and downs when he went to Feyenoord, when he went to Heerenveen, but these long spans of him being free agents the last 2 years have really left a sour taste in fans' mouths. The one thing we can always respect about Alireza Jahanbakhsh is he is a man of his word. He said he always wants to play in Europe and he is stuck by that. When Jahanbakhsh was still clubless, there were reports that he did have serious offers from Germany, the Netherlands, and Belgium, which obviously he went to a team in Belgium, and fans were kind of upset and curious why out of all the offers that you apparently had, you decided to join the worst team in Belgium. As fans, we don't know the ins and outs to what exactly happened. What were the offers? What were the circumstances? My guess is from all the teams, Dender was the one that he probably could have gotten the most output out of. Like I said early on in this video, yeah, it sucks that Dender are in last place, but with that huge risk of joining a possible relegation team, if he can help galvanize and be a big part of this team surviving, him getting consistent minutes, he's reaping a huge reward out of that. So again, there's a big risk for a possible big reward. And like I just mentioned, he has been a free agent now for back-to-back years for long periods of time. Before joining Heerenveen, he was a free agent for a little bit of the start of the season. And yet again, many of us didn't think he was going to repeat that exact same antic in this season, but he did do it again. And it's rubbed fans the wrong way. They hate seeing it because this guy is the captain of the national team and gets called up to the national team. And he has been getting a lot of hate for being a free agent and still getting called up to the national team. So let's talk about that for a second. All over Iranian media, fans kept saying, why is Jahanbakhsh getting called up? How is he still getting minutes? He's a free agent. He is literally unemployed. He's just getting shit on left and right. And I just don't think it's warranted to be shitting on Alireza Jahanbakhsh for that. You can be upset with him. I totally agree with you for him being a free agent because there's no reason for all the resources that he has, the pedigree that he has, the clubs that he has played for, the resume that Alireza Jahanbakhsh has, that he should be a free agent to start 2 back-to-back seasons. You can be mad at him about that, but people absolutely getting on his back about getting called up, getting minutes for the Iranian national team, that's not on him. That's on Amir Qalanoui. If Amir Qalanoui doesn't want to put a stance, like I've said in so many countless videos, to be like, hey, if you're a free agent or if you want to go backwards in your career and pull an Azmoun and go from one of the best teams in Germany to the UAE league, then I'm not going to call you up. Amir Qalanoui doesn't have any standards for this national team. If you are old and you've been a part of the previous World Cup cycles with Iran, you are going to get called up. That's not Alireza Jahanbakhsh's fault. Like, really think about it. If you were in his shoes, you get called up, Qalanoui is telling you, Jahanbakhsh, warm up, get ready, go into the game. You're not going to just stop in the middle and be like, nah, I'm not going into the game. Nah, I'm not going to get called up. That's not how it works. If the coach wants to keep making these weird and dumb decisions, that's on the coach. That's not on Jahanbakhsh. So everybody absolutely going on his back being like, oh, he's a free agent. Other players should be getting those minutes. That's on Qalanoui. Be upset with Jahanbakhsh for being a free agent. And that leads me on to the next point. Fans kind of just like clowning his decision to join Dender. One of the biggest memes that I've seen, which I do think it's kind of funny, is how Alireza Jahanbakhsh is even older than the Dender head coach because most of their team is relatively young. He is by far the oldest player on this team. But it's like, is this hate really warranted? Like, all us fans want to see players playing in Europe, and Jahanbakhsh is the ethos of that. He's the man that has only done that. He will refuse to go backwards in his career and go to the Middle East. And regardless of him sticking it out, sticking to his guns, even when things aren't looking the best, we still want to clown him for that. You don't get both sides of the coin. If you hate players that don't want to be a cloth above and push themselves to go to Europe, build their careers, make those leaps, have those top footballer mentalities and get upset when they don't do that. Then you see a guy like Jahanbakhsh do that. Yes, it's for one of the worst teams in Belgium. I just don't understand it. I do think one point of view that you can have, seeing, yes, Jahonbkhsh isn't the guy he used to be. I won't lie to myself. I don't lie to any of you guys. I don't even see him playing a big part role going into this World Cup. If it was my say, like you all saw in that recent short that I posted, Jahonbkhsh wasn't in my starting lineup. He wasn't even any of the players that I mentioned that could play a key role at this World Cup. I don't think he should outright not get called up to the national team anymore. He should still be a squad player. He has a lot of experience playing at very high levels against very good opponents and has played at now multiple World Cups. If he does get called up for the 2026 World Cup, that is his 4th World Cup cycle. That is mad impressive. The longevity is insane. But a guy that is not even playing at the top of his game anymore, which it's sad to see, can still get moves to relatively good teams in Europe. What does that say about the other Iranian footballers? Jahonbkhsh obviously isn't the guy he used to be, but he is still putting himself out there to make these moves. Then you see all these other younger guys and you're a little bit more experienced guys like your Golizades, your Azmoons, your Mohebi, whoever it may be, not want to continue playing in Europe, make that push back in Europe, go further in Europe. And you see Jahonbkhsh, who is playing in a league that is better than 90% of any of the other players on the national team are playing in, and we want to shit on him for that. I just feel like he's become a massive scapegoat for how things have gone so badly with the national team post 2022 World Cup. He has become like the poster child of the one guy you gotta shit on when it comes to this downfall of the Iranian national team. Again, I'll put my hands up high. I don't think Alireza Jahanbakhsh is the guy that he once was. I still love him. I still love everything that he's done for the national team. He's truly a leader for this national team, but he has made some mistakes. It is not good to be a free agent to start 2 back-to-back seasons. It's a bad look. But geez Louise, everyone just loves shitting on him, no matter what he does, positive or negative. The man is still playing in Europe. That's more than 9/10 of anyone else in Iranian football right now. We don't know the ins and outs to exactly what happened, why this instant has happened 2 back-to-back seasons. That is just something we won't know. And those are the things that, yes, I think is fair for you to criticize him. And yes, it is fair to criticize him that he's not the guy he once was. Father Time is undefeated. But I am super sick of Jahonbkhsh being the poster child for fans to constantly ridicule for Amir Qalanoui taking this national team down the gutter. There has to be like a differentiation between what you can criticize him on. Him being a free agent, yes, that is valid. That's on Jahonbkhsh. But him getting minutes when he is a free agent, getting called up, that is on Amir Qalanoui. And once we get closer to the end of the season, we kind of see how things pan out with Jahonbkhsh get Dender. I might do a follow-up video talking about how the season went for him. Was I right? Was I wrong? I think it'd be a good way to reflect about these early thoughts to how things actually panned out at the end. Boys and girls, let me know your guys' thoughts on everything I discussed in the comments down below. Do you guys agree with me? Disagree with me? What is your guys' thoughts on everything surrounding Alireza Jahanbakhsh right now in his career? Let me know your thoughts. As I said, let's hit over 50 likes. So now next season, Alireza Jahanbakhsh will not start the season as a free agent, as long as we hit 50 likes. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go check out this video next. And click over here as I post content weekly on the channel and you don't want to miss it. And I hope you all have a lovely day.